BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
A federal judge in Rhode Island has ordered the Trump administration to provide the full amount of Monthly Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits to states, demanding immediate compliance within a strict 24-hour deadline. This significant ruling comes as the administration faces criticism for allegedly failing to adequately consider the hardships imposed on recipients by its partial funding decision. The judge's decision underscores the critical role SNAP benefits play in supporting millions of Americans, particularly those most vulnerable. In other developments, the Senate narrowly rejected a bipartisan war powers resolution with a 51-49 vote. This resolution aimed to restrict the use of U.S. military force against Venezuela unless explicitly authorized by Congress. The vote highlights ongoing debates surrounding executive authority in foreign policy and military action, with some senators expressing reservations about the administration's current approach. Meanwhile, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced her intention not to seek re-election to Congress in 2026. Marking the end of a long and impactful political career. Pelosi, a prominent figure in American politics for decades, has been a central player in numerous legislative battles and historic moments. Her departure signals a potential shift in the political landscape and will be closely watched by both parties. As the record-breaking government shutdown entered its 37th day, President Trump continued to advocate for the elimination of the filibuster, urging Republican lawmakers to adopt this strategy. The president's persistent push for this procedural change reflects his administration's ongoing efforts to advance its legislative agenda, despite facing significant opposition and internal party divisions on the matter. In a notable foreign policy announcement, President Trump declared that Kazakhstan would be signing the Abraham Accords to normalize relations with Israel, while hailed by the administration as a major diplomatic achievement and a step towards peace. It was also pointed out that Kazakhstan has maintained full diplomatic ties with Israel since 1992 and is geographically distant from the Middle East. This development has drawn attention to the administration's approach to brokering regional normalization agreements. Furthermore, President Trump announced what he described as an incredible trade and economic deal with Uzbekistan. The announcement came during a White House dinner where the Uzbek president reportedly referred to Trump as the president of the world. These trade agreements and diplomatic exchanges are part of the administration's broader foreign policy initiatives aimed at reshaping global economic and political relationships. In a separate legal matter, Sean Dunn, a former Justice Department employee, was acquitted of assault charges stemming from an incident where he threw a sandwich at a federal border protection agent. Dunn maintained that his actions were intended to defend the rights of immigrants. The acquittal brings an end to a case that garnered significant attention, particularly in light of the administration's focus on law enforcement presence in Washington, D.C. Adding a touch of visual flair to the White House, President Trump has reportedly commissioned the installation of Presidential Walk of Fame signage on an exterior wall, featuring gold lettering and framed portraits of past presidents. This embellishment has sparked discussion about the evolving aesthetics and symbolic representations within the executive mansion. In the realm of sports and local politics, soccer fans celebrated the election of Zoran Mamdani as the first South Asian and Muslim mayor of New York, and notably, the first Gooner, a supporter of Arsenal FC, to hold such an office. Mamdani's passion for football and his prior efforts to support a Spanish club have resonated with fans, highlighting the intersection of personal interests and public service. Separately, the Supreme Court has permitted the Trump administration to enforce a policy that restricts sex designations on passports to only reflect assignments at birth. This decision reverses previous rules that allowed for self-selected gender markers or the use of an X designation, representing a setback for the transgender and non-binary community and drawing criticism from dissenting justices. The Congressional Budget Office, a key independent agency providing economic analysis for lawmakers, has reportedly been the target of a cyber attack suspected to be carried out by a foreign actor. This breach raises concerns about the potential compromise of sensitive financial data and its implications for legislative processes. In a clarification regarding an earlier report, Novo Nordisk has stated that the individual who fainted during an Oval Office event focused on drug pricing was not an executive from their company, correcting initial media identifications. The identity of the individual who experienced the collapse remains unconfirmed by the White House. The ongoing government shutdown, now a record breaker, continues to impact federal operations. With no immediate resolution in sight, the economic and social consequences of such prolonged shutdowns are a significant concern for many. Finally, the Trump administration's stance on tariffs, framed as a matter of national security, was further emphasized, with the president asserting that the economic well-being of the nation is intrinsically linked to its ability to defend itself. This perspective underscores the administration's broader economic philosophy and its approach to international trade relations.